So in the near future, I'm going to start doing gear reviews of amps and pedals. And I figured because so many of you out there play single split pickup P basses, I might as well get one. Now, when it comes to single split pickup P basses, there's so many options out there, it can make your head spin. But it just so happened I was in a stinky secondhand store and I found this Squier 60s classic vibe P bass at a really good price. And it turns out that this particular P bass really fits the bill because this bass has a Goldilocks build quality. Kind of right in the middle. Now, I've handled a lot of vintage basses in my lifetime, and this bass not only looks like a vintage instrument, it feels like a vintage instrument, and it smells like a... well, it smells like a stinky secondhand store, but you get the idea. The neck is made of maple and it has a vintage tint gloss finish. The headstock features 4 nickel finished vintage style tuners, and it has a bone nut. Now the truss rod adjustment is done at the headstock and not at the neck heel joint like you see on actual early Fenders, but to me this is a good thing because it's way more convenient. The fretboard material is Indian laurel, which looks like the classic rosewood of yesteryear, but is actually a harder surface. The fretboard also sports white Perloid dot inlays as well as narrow tall frets. The body is made of poplar, and my bass is the obligatory 3-color sunburst, along with the obligatory tortoiseshell pickguard. The 60s classic vibe Precision also features a Fender-designed Alnico split pickup, controlled by 1 volume control and 1 tone control. The bridge is a vintage style with threaded steel saddles. Here are some sound clips of the Squier 60s classic vibe Precision using different settings. So how do I feel about my Squier Classic Vibe 60s Precision bass? I gotta tell you, I think that it's cool that they actually captured the essence of a vintage bass on a new instrument. And its middle-of-the-road build quality makes it perfect for my needs to demo gear. However, if I wanted to use this bass as my main player, there might be a few changes I would make. First is this pickup. It's actually not bad. It's just a little generic. So if I was playing in a variety band that covered a bunch of different genres, I would probably leave it and only change it out if necessary. However, if I was playing in a band that was more genre specific, I would change this pickup out to something that's more suited for those styles. But the biggest modification I would do is this bridge. Yeah, I get it. This is what vintage bridges look like back in the early 60s. Well, this is what a vintage telephone looked like back in the early 60s too. I'd still rather use a smartphone. And just like telephones, bass bridges have made advancements over the decades, so I definitely get a higher mass replacement. But overall, I'm going to rate the Squier Classic Vibe 60s Precision bass 4 out of 5 P's. But I'm also going to give it a bonus Jamerson for nailing that classic vibe. I'm also going to give it some of Rick Savage's hair for no particular reason. I'm Rib13. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I do have a Patreon account, and I like to thank my patrons, Derek and Joe, as always. I also wore my Electrifier shirt in the demo portions. They're a family band that I've become quite the fan of. There's a link to them in the description below. And I'll see you next time.